Kamen Rider Wiki.
Hey YouTube, Dawson Rider here. Welcome to my review for the DX Neo DecaDriver from Kamen Rider Zi-O, because this is the version of the driver he uses in the show, now updated to have the riders that existed after his series. This was a premium Bandai release. I was a little bit late by 2-3 months on getting the review because I was only able to secure the second pre-order. I was like, oh, I'll pre-order that in the morning, and by morning the first wave pre-orders from March were filled, so here we are. Just real quick about the box. I mean, I do like it as a sleek, nice little box. Demonstrates the aesthetics well, shows off the main reason to get this, which is the new ride cards, and then the back has a nice shot here. I only wanted to really show it off because it was a lot smaller than I thought it would be. I guess I'm just used to the giant boxes sometimes with a complete selection, and the main rider boxes always have that giant flap up there for no reason because it can't even hang off of anything. But anyway, obviously, it comes with cards, which we'll get to in a second, but this is the main event. The core differences being we have now a pink color, which is, DK's primary color anyway, rather than white. You still have the silver here. You now have symbols. These are simple. They're like pimples, but for riders. No. Symbols for all through build. You can see Kuga Agito goes all the way through build like that, as opposed to the previous one, which ended at Kiva. And then this is now black instead of silver or gray or whatever you want to call it. Still says DK at the top. You got your strap back there. It does come with one of those little extra pieces to hold these together. I just don't have it on there right now because I'm just going to take it off when I put it on my trash can to do the sounds with. Very professional here. Just for a quick side-by-side, here it is next to, this is the complete selection version, but it's the same dimensions. But you can see, in case you didn't know, what the two different versions looked like. Also a difference here is like these little quote-unquote buttons, they're not pressable, but the red, green, blue is now just pink. So that's the differences there. I do like this. I love the idea of it. I'm gonna be honest though, aesthetically I prefer this one a little bit more. That's just a personal thing. And then obviously you do get a bunch of cards, which we're going to be going over. So you have a big stack there. So like a whole deck, you could even make up a game. Not really. But so you got DK on the top, Kuga, Agito, Ryuki, Faiz, Blade, Hibiki, Kabuto, Deno, Kiva. That's where DK should go. And then you have all the ones post his series. So Double, O's, Forze, Wizard, Gaim, Drive, Ghost, Xaid, Build, Zi-O. And then the final attack ride cards for all of them right here. So like these ones you might have already gotten from previous releases, but then you have these ones here for all the post ones. He got mixed up. Thanks, spoiler alert. But all the final attack rides here for the other riders. And then you get the Final Form ride cards, which previously were featured in the Final Form ride figures. So that's a thing. So obviously here in 1 second, I'm going to put this up on the ride trash can and show the sounds for all these. But then we will take a look at the ones from the complete selection release that work in this and how that all interfaces. But let me go ahead and get the trash can. We got the belt up here. There's on-off switch, and it was already on. Thanks again, spoiler alert. So obviously another key difference I forgot to mention is this obviously doesn't have a button under here like the complete selection one did for music sounds, because it's just kind of like a regular deluxe release. But let's go ahead and get started. We got a lot of cards to get through, so. So these are all pretty much going to be par for the course if you have owned any version of the DecaDriver over the years. I have to say, I do really prefer DecaD's approach of having its awesome sounding voice and then a little clip of the rider belt sound. As opposed to Zi-O, which does like a whole song and dance and then just shrieks at you, and I'm just annoyed. That almost makes it sound like Faiz Complete is a form. I'm actually surprised it wasn't. I feel like it would be nowadays. Turnip. Like, not like turn up like turnips, like a turnip, like you have to say with an accent. See, Zi-O's would be like, Hibiki. That would be Zi-O.'s.
Kamen Rider. Kabuto.
Like, see, that's cool. I feel like the sounds included in Zi-O.'s that are actually from the original Rider belts are drowned out.
Kamen Rider. Zi-O. Kamen Rider. Chiba.
New stuff now.
Kamen Rider. Double.
Nice. Smart. Noise.
Kamen Rider. O's. Kamen Rider. Forte. Kamen Rider. Wizardo.
Kind of wish Please was in there, to be honest.
Kamen Rider. Gaimu. Orange armor.
Love that one. Alright, drive time.
Kamen Rider. Drive.
I'm almost surprised it doesn't say type speed, but I feel like that would delve into forms a bit.
Kamen Rider. Gusto. Let's go. Go, 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 Gusto.
I have to say, not too huge on Ghost, but I always love the jingle. I also think the eye symbol looks really cool there on the driver. Alright, now X-Aid.
Kamen Rider. X-Aid.
Oh, eggs. I get it. Like nutrition. Alright, now build. Oops.
Kamen Rider. Beagle. Hagane no Moon Santo. Rabbit Tank.
Alright, now we have Zi-O, which I feel like just creates a paradox of powers.
Kamen Rider. Zi-O. Kamen Rider.
Alright, now we have our final attack ride card. Let's get on with that.
Final Attack Rider. DK. Final Attack Rider. Kuga. Final Attack Rider. Agito. Final Attack Rider. Yuki. Final Attack attack Ride. Do live.
Dough live. Like dough, like bread?
Final attack Ride. Ghost. Final attack Ride. Exit. Final attack Ride. Build. Final attack Ride. Zi-O.
Alright, now just lastly for the final form ride cards.
Final form Ride. Kuga. Agito. Final form Ride. Yuki. Final form Ride. Flies. Final form Ride. Blade. Final form Ride. Hibiki. Final form Ride. Kabuto. Final form Ride. D-O. Final form Ride. Chiba. Final form Ride. Decay.
Okay, that is about the it for all the cards you get with it. It does have functionality with some previous cards from the CSM ones. I'm going to do a quick little recommendation here, an explainer, and then get on with the sounds just in case you don't want to see all the demos. But these are cards from Complete Selection. Obviously, these ones work. I just brought an example one to show it off. Things like this will just say like a generic attack noise, like attack ride decayed and stuff like that. They won't actually say strike vent or slash in this one as compared to the CSM. Some things like this will say just a generic attack noise. Attack ride double, or final form ride double, excuse me, does work, as does all rider, as does this one. These ones will just, this one will do an error noise, like it should, and this one will just do a generic noise as well, not specifically saying dragon form. The final ride cards for these will have different sounds. Deno Climaxes just says regular Deno's noises, but the final form riders do have it. This one also just kind of generic. The Showa riders here have unique sounds in them. I think that was it, actually, into the Showa ones. Yeah, oh, and Skull works as well. So there might have been a couple I missed. These are just of the ones I own, but all these ones, sans like these ones, which I brought in to show an example of them working, do work. So if you have those cards, that will work. I brought in some Diend one as well. These ones will work. This will say a generic noise. This will say generic noise. Generic noise. These two will say standard sounds as well. And if you're curious for the Diend driver, the CSM Diend driver, this one right here, and not the original recipe one, which barely did anything, it will make unique sounds for everybody through Gaim, I believe it is, and then after that it'll just say a generic noise, and the final attack ride cards and such will also just randomly generate whatever one its code is closest to. So I am going to be showing off those sounds here in a second, but I wanted to give that information for those of you that don't want to stick around for me just playing with cards for the next 10 minutes. But overall, I think this is a cool pick. If you can find it for a decent price, it is really neat to be able to have the sounds for everyone post-decayed in this. Also, just because it's neat to have a new kind of updated decayed content bit. It is kind of unfortunate that with both this and the CSM one, I feel as if I have like half of a product. Like, it seems weird. Like, I have some of them, like this one has the post-rider sounds, and then this one has like all of the individual sounds like strike vent. And if you're curious, do these cards work in the CSM driver? In theory, yes, they do. Like the regular ride cards and stuff, but not if you have a busted one like mine that can't work. So this exact same thing happened to my original DecaDriver. This is my CSM one. I've only owned it a couple years, and it will not read cards. So that's fun, right, guys? So that's why I'm not showing that off as much. Anyway, let's go ahead and get onto the sound demo for those of you that care about that. Everyone else, bye. No, I'm just kidding. Okay, as I said, just to demonstrate, this is from the complete selection set.
Files complete.
So, same. Also, it's worth noting that the CSM cards are made of just a strict plastic, whereas the new ones are kind of like a coated cardboard. They're stronger than your average card, like in the original release, but they're not quite CSM quality.
Lido.
So you can see, that one just said Attack Ride Ryuki and not the specific sound it was given.
Attack Lido. Decay. Final attack Lido. Amazon.
So that one will work.
Final form Lido. Final form Lido. All riders. Final Kamen attack form Lido. Decay. Form Lido. Kuga.
So just kind of like the old one. And then these ones will error because they're blank. Oh god, that's loud.
Kamen Lido. Kuga. Ultimate form. Kamen Lido. Agito. Shining form. Kamen Lido. Ryuki. Survive. Survive.
And
Kamen Lido. Fries. Blaster form. Awakening. Kamen Lido. Blade King form. Evolution King.
it would have been cool to get, instead of the Final Form ride cards, maybe get the Final Form rides for the other riders. Double onward.
Amado Hibiki. Kamen Lido. Kabuto. Hyper form. Kamen Lido. They're all.
See, that one will just do a generic Deno sound.
Kamen Lido. They're all Lina form. Kamen Lido. Kiba Emperor form.
Alright, then you have Rising Ultimate Cuba.
Kamen Kuga.
Just to show you. It makes the generic Kuga noise. Alright, now just the Showa guys.
Kamen Lido. Ichigo. Kamen Lido. Nigo. Kamen Lido. Boy 3. Kamen Lido. Rider Man. Kamen Lido.
No, that's Masked Rider.
Kamen Rider Zi-O. Kamen Rider Shin. Kamen Rider J. Kamen Rider Skull.
Alright, and then these just really quick, just to show you, like the Diend ones, like this one. Oh, why do I always do that? There's something I want it to be that way.
Final Attack Rider.
So that one will work. These will just do like a generic attack noise.
Attack. Decay.
And that one will do Decade, the other one will just say Attack Ride Diend. This is just like one of the random cards that comes with Diends, just to show you like what would happen if you did one of the...
Rider. Kamen Rider.
So that's the noise you'll get if you use any of the random secondary and whatnot riders that come with Diend. But these two do have unique sounds, Dien's different ones.
Kamen Rider. Diend. Kamen Rider. Diend. Complete form.
Alright, and lastly, we'll take a look at some of the new cards in the complete selection. Okay, so we got the Diend Driver.
Kamen Rider Double.
Basically, it makes those same type of sounds, so I'm just gonna stick to the voices from here on out.
Kamen Rider O's. Kamen Rider Forze. Kamen Rider Wizardo. Kamen Rider Gaimu. Kamen Rider Drive.
Okay, Drive does have it. So I think it's Ghost where it stops reading it. Like, I think this one says Kabuto. I remember the one where it stopped, it was like Kabuto.
Kabuto.
More like Kabuto, am I right?
Rider Agito.
Nope, that's not right.
Final Rider X.
Nope, that's just Chuck Tester with a realistic fake ride card.
D-O.
Get it, guys? Because they're both time travelers? Okay, so stuff like this.
Final Attack Rider.
Will work. Then when you get to the later ones, like let's do Forze's. Oh, don't break it. There we go.
Final Rider J.
So see, like it'll just kind of do whatever one's barcode that matches up with. For final form rides,
Final Form
it'll work. Okay, so that really is about the it. So you can see there is some cross-play between the two. That sounds like video games, but you know what I mean. Like there is cross-functionality, which is nice. So if you have some or all of these cards, you will get some playability. And I guess it's kind of fun to see the ones that don't work and what do they say instead. But yeah, same recommendation for the middle of the video. I think it's a neat bit. I like it. It's a cool update. I think you can find a good price. I think it's worth it for Decade fans. Just don't pay too much as always. I feel like there's not going to be another release anytime soon, but I wouldn't be entirely mad if they did one that just had everything so I didn't have just pieces. But anyway, I've kept you here long enough. Those of you that stayed around, all three of you, one of those includes me. Anyway, until next time, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and climb the steps and ring that bell to get notifications from my videos. Till next time, Dawson Rider, signing out.